Hey, what's up, guys? Round number 4 on the ESL Go4LoL, cup number 87, is literally about to start, and we've got a fantastic game lined up. We're going to be following C-Play facing off against Logix. We're already into the picks and bans, and the first ban is Dr. Mundo from C-Play. Of course, Dr. Mundo is really powerful in the jungle, so difficult to shut down, and the speed at which he clears camps is just immense. Reply bans, interestingly, we've seen Kale and Ari being banned, and Nautilus as well. So Nautilus and Kale, very interesting bans, and my feeling is these are targeted. Nautilus and Dr. Mundo both being junglers, so C-Play not wanting to deal with the crowd control power of Nautilus, or the unkillable Dr. Mundo who goes where he pleases. Kale, slightly unorthodox ban. Kale, of course, did receive a buff quite recently to her heal and the slow duration. It's 2 of her spells, so that helps a little bit. For Mr. Techno Link, Star Wars is the way to go. Today are rocking the AT-AT shirt. For next weekend, I think I'm going to pull out the Chewbacca wearing Ray-Bans. Final ban being Morgana. So we got 3 AP mids. Karthus, Ariane, Morgana have been removed from the pool. Nautilus, Kale, and Dr. Mundo. So C-Play get the first pick. C-Play TT, that's of course Thermal Take, one of their sponsors. Lollipop will have to decide who's going to get locked in here. We will most likely see a support. That is what we have been seeing very often. Janna, Lulu, Soraka, Tarek, all available. And, ooh, it's not going to be a support this time round. Opting to pick an Urgot. So we already know that you can take Urgot Soraka or Urgot Janna are incredibly powerful and incredibly interesting to play as well in terms of the lane combination. So Soraka and Lee Sin for Logix. Lee Sin's locked in, so we know Lee Sin can jungle, can go top lane. He's normally picked top lane as a counter to some of the champions that head up that way. So we'll just have to see how the rest of the picks and bans go. For anybody that doesn't know, we followed Logix 1 or 2 games in the past. We streamed a few of them last weekend. And then played really well, making it through to the top 8, top 4. Someone on Logix, let me know. Let me actually just drop them a message. Where did you place last? Go4LoL. 9 seconds left, so a little bit indecisive whether or not Toffel actually wants to lock in Soraka. 2, 1, so it's going to be Soraka. So that's the support lane at least picked up. Unless they really want to have some fun and play Battle Mage Soraka. Yeah, I can't really do a very good Chewy. But I tried. I can't get the rolling of the tongue. It's way more difficult than it sounds, actually. Very fast picks here from C-Play. They've locked in Nocturne and Warwick. So we can automatically assume Warwick's going to be going top lane. Nocturne's going to be in the jungle. And you've got 3 fairly meaty, tanky type of champions. Nocturne does, of course, need to build items to get that. But he'll go, sort of Frozen Mallet. And then maybe work towards an Atma's Impaler. And maybe even look at the likes of a more of Malmortius eventually. So 3 pretty tanky, beefy champs for mid to late game. Udia looking like the next pick for Chapsy. And of course, once again, you've got 2 junglers, 2 potential top laners here. Warwick and Nocturne can go top, but he's not really, it's not done ever, really. And Logix are going to have to decide who is going to beat Warwick. Who can defeat Warwick in a straight-up 1v1? Lee Sin or Udia, both of whom can shield themselves some damage, both of whom have got crowd control effects, and of course, both of them can do decent sustain. They've both got the ability to get back hit points. And wow, now this is very interesting. B2B May hovering over Twitch. I'm not going to believe this. There we go. Yeah, I wasn't going to believe it. Never get excited. Number 1 rule, okay? Number 1 rule. Never get excited when you see a unorthodox pick like that, because you're just being trolled by the players. They're mean, and they get you excited for nothing. So we're going to Nivea now, and Nivea's probably going to play mid lane against Galio. That's going to be a pretty boring lane. It's just going to be AFK farming for both of them. They both clear waves incredibly quickly. And Nivea does need to hit level 6 before she can do that, though. And it's just going to be a farm fest in that mid lane. And now we're going to see the final champion pick. Which AD carry am I going to decide to go with? And I think that's a brilliant choice on Cogmore. Because you know Urgot and Nocturne and Warwick will be building hit points, at least in some form or another, the Cogmore is a brilliant, brilliant pick. That looks like it's been locked in. Yes, it has. So we're down to the last minute free. Champions are going to be swapped around. We're going to be seeing exactly which person is going to be playing which champion. And double exhaust from the side of C play. No CVs there. So double exhaust being used on both Nocturne and on Janna. And that's very brave for a Nocturne. Nocturne has to use Paranoia to get into, using his ultimate to get into range to start punching people. And the problem comes in now by not having Flash or Ghost. He's going to rely on timing and making the correct decision when he's actually going to pick up a fight. So it's going to be very, very, very brave of Nocturne not to take an escape mechanism, because if he does overcommit or oversteps his bounds, he has no escape mechanism at all. Pretty good crowd control from the side of C play. Huge disruption and knockback from Janna. Going to be able to keep the melee champions of Lee Sin and Udia back, keep them at distance. But of course, we've got a pretty melee heavy lineup this entire game. I think it's going to come down to this top lane, depending on who's going to get further ahead. If Lee Sin or Warwick start to pull ahead, once we hit the mid game, it's going to become so difficult to kill either one of them, because both of whom can deal fantastic damage and get loads of hit points back in between battles. I'm a big fan of Twitch, and what's very interesting, I'm just reading some comments on chat here. With regards to Twitch, he's been played as a jungle character in quite a few big name tournaments fairly recently, and pretty much winning hands down with the power that he has, but coming out invisible, getting the great attack damage, and with the fact that he's also got, let's just find Logics on the screen. The fact that he's also gains huge attack damage from going invisible for different durations, it really makes him very powerful. So, looking at how Logics have made their way through to this game, played through first round, second round, and third round, all victories obviously, and coming up against C-Play, who are seated all the way down at the bottom of the table. So I think that's number 2 is their position. I don't know if these are seeds or not. It could be signing in, it could be numbers, I'm not 100% certain. So, C-Play coming up against Logics. We're up into the 4th round of Go4LoL, and both sides have got really, really good stable teams. Both sides are absolutely fantastic, and just got a quick message here. I believe last weekend Logics in fact placed top 4 for last week's Go4LoL. I just have to double check that to be 100%. But just having a quick look at the player pages here, just as we kill some time for the spectator to load up. And of course, Logics, the very nice guys who invited me to the game. So thank you guys. You are absolutely awesome and legendary. We have 1 minute left to get into the game before we are live. And interestingly as well, on behalf of Logics, they've also got a new top laner. I believe was the message one of the guys said to me a few seconds ago. And yeah, just the last few seconds as we get into this match. So what do you guys think? We've got champion picks. We've got locks in. We've got fantastic scaling champions. 1 player from each side. Nocturne and Lee Sin, they do fall off the mid to late game. But these games are so, most of the time are decided in the 25 to 35 minute mark. So what are your feelings? Who's going to win their lanes? Who's going to be able to walk away the victor this time round? C-Play or Logics? 15 seconds loading up, and I can't wait to see the skins. The skins for me always decide exactly who's going to be victorious. I know it's a sad, pathetic way to, decide or vote for somebody. But it's fun. It's always enjoyable. All right, so game is loading up. Just going to let some of the rest of the shoutcasters know I'm busy doing some matches. Just loading around 4. So apologize about that. And come on, do we have any votes in chat? Nobody's voting in chat. You guys are driving me crazy. If it wasn't for Twitch, we wouldn't have so many shoutcasters. I'm not certain I understand, UV Gaming. I'm a fan of Twitch TV. I have no problems with either Twitch TV or Own3D. But of course, as this is an ESL event, we do have to use Twitch. So let's have a look. Skins. We've got some pretty cool ones this time around. Feral Warwick. I love Feral Warwick. The run animation on that skin is really cool once he's got that on the hunt active. And then, of course, the Void Nocturne. A bit creepy and a bit spooky. Lee Sin from Hayoyo. Of course, with his bright orange tigers are on his shoulders. I like Lee Sin. I'm a big fan. I play him in the jungle so often. I don't really do all that well with him, though, but I'm a big, big fan. And yeah, let's just get into this match. You know what? This game's going to go either way. There is so much kill potential from all of the champions. And yeah, the two skins for C-Play, they are superior to the 2 skins for Logix. I hate to say it, but it is true. Even though I love Lee Sin, sadly the Caterpillar, Cogmore, I want to be a Ladybug Red just isn't really my thing. So we are finally loaded up. Just close that chat screen. And let's have a look at our Boots Pots meta takeover. Boots Pots across the board. Warwick's the only one that's... Oh, there we go. There's his Boots. There's his Pots. It's very interesting because about 3 months ago, almost everybody opened with Dorans. It was Dorans the whole way. Dorans, Dorans, Dorans. That was the focus. That was the attention. And now all of a sudden, it's... of course, Boots Pots. Mobility, just give you a little bit of survivability to be able to get away from people. Lots of pings coming out now from Logix. And they've pinged exactly where C-Play are sitting. Whether or not they're going to go for an invade or not, it's going to be interesting. And Nivea's got her stun as well. Acid Hunter lands. Stun goes out. Manages to catch Galio. Another Acid Hunter. A couple of attacks being landed. And the Void Ooze from Cogmore. Really great play there. Cogmore not putting a point in any of his abilities until he really needed to. Picks up that Void Ooze and he manages to save Galio. If there was a bit more commitment, maybe an exhaust going out or similar, maybe could have picked up first blood, but it was negated. You know what I'm starting to think? I think Warwick has a little bit of orangutan in him. I don't know if any of you guys know what orangutans look like, but Google it if you don't. Orangutans have got incredibly long arms. Let's get a position. Stop moving, dude. Look at his arms. Warwick's arms can scratch his ankles. He doesn't even need to bend down to scratch his ankles. And orangutans can do the same thing. Now, I think he's part wolf, part orangutan. Udia, starting off at wolves, so it'll be a mirror image jungle. Phoenix stance Udia. He's going to pick up the wolves really quickly. The damage from Void Ooze helping out as well. Nocturne, he's going to be able to use those Umbra Blades passive, deal AoE damage to all his wolf camp. There's going to be a trade. The difference here, of course, that Udia has had significantly more help from his teammates. And Nocturne is going to go quite a bit lower this time around. They actually heal back quite a lot of health, though, I must admit. Those Umbra Blades are incredibly powerful. Giving him a good chunk of hit points back. What is this set? Deals 120% physical damage in AoE and heals himself for 15 per target hit. That's pretty decent. So the lanes have set up. Warwick versus Lee Sin. Lee Sin's going to be able to manhandle Warwick a little bit in these very early stages. Once they hit level 2 and level 3, Lee Sin can combo his abilities and apply that Tempest Cripple. That's the secondary one. Put that Cripple down onto Warwick. And once he's put the Cripple, he just applies the slow. And there's the damage. Ignite has come up. If he lands his Q, flash auto attack, waiting for the lineup. He's going to throw the Hadouken. This is going to be first blood. Cooldown's coming up, surely. Let's follow Lee Sin as he moves forward. Unfortunately, hadn't taken a point in it. I had thought there was a Q. I had thought there was going to be a Sonic Wave Resonating Strike, but sadly it was not to P. And brilliant damage. One more Acid Hunter. No mana for it, though. 2 hits taken on Urgot. And not having a healer, Janna cannot heal the hit points lost. Soraka can for Cogmore, so he's going to be able to pull quite a lot back. Level 3 has finally come up. Here comes the Tempest. Oh, just missing the Sonic Wave. Hayoyo, unfortunate there. He deserved that first blood. It was really well played. And I was just a bit unlucky. He opted to go for his Safeguard, his shield, instead of his Hadouken. Which is usually how you tend to, level up your champions. Huge creep wave here for Lollipop. And he's just going to be farming up, picking up as many creep kills as he can. And Nivea, just missing the stun, throws out her Frost Icicle. Frost Bite, it's called, not a Frost Icicle. Takes a stun. Here comes Janna. She's put Eye of the Storm on, so that's going to be able to at least prevent or mitigate some of this damage. Huge damage coming down now onto Janna. She's forced to pop her flash to get away. Stun at max range, picking up Galio. Not enough for not locking him up long enough to pick up any kills though. And this is what we prefer to see. This is what we like to watch. Huge aggression from both sides and fantastic play from all players involved. Every single one of these abilities managed to pick up damage, pick up kills, and land at the right times. Just a little bit unlucky that Galio still had his flash. Opting to save it. 2 points now into the resonating strike, the Hadouken from Lee Sin. So he's going for those DPS at the minute. And once he starts to hit a few more levels, he'll start to max out his Iron Will, Safeguard Iron Will. And then, of course, we'll allow him to prevent some damage. And, of course, give him additional sustain. The hit points returned is increased with each level as well. Nocturne is now coming up to this top lane. He has a point in his Unspeakable Horror. Really going to scare Elise if he can land it. And there goes the Safeguard. Jumps to the very last creep in the creep line. Yudia has now moved up as well. The Q has landed. Chases up. Manages to dive all the way forward with his Resonating Strike. Stun goes down from Yudia. The red buff is ticking away along with the Tiger Stance. And a brilliant Hadouken is the first blood. Great counter gank. Yudia just managed to pick it up before his red buff expires as well. All that extra slow and the damage over time means Warwick is now going to fall behind in levels, fall behind in CS. He's already 10 behind. Really nicely done. Aggression on this bottom lane. Urgot tossing out his Noxian Corrosive Charge. When you see that particle effect on Kog'Maw, it means he can throw out his Acid Hunters, and the Acid Hunters obviously automatically track and feed onto the champion. So it's really going to be putting some damage down. And the key, of course, for Urgot on this bottom lane is to really start using those Acid Hunters. There we go. There's the Acid Hunter. Eye of the Storm should come up from Janna. And then he popped up. Was used a little bit later and just unlucky not to get one more Acid Hunter out. Would have been able to be a kill on onto Kog'Maw. But once again, Kog'Maw's fallback. He's going to be using the last of his pots. Still got one left. And of course the heals from Soraka. Now if there's the Corrosive Charge, brilliantly juked. Still managed to take one Acid Hunter to the face in a point blank range with the knock-up. That might be enough to secure a kill. Exhausts have been used. Acid Hunter down. One more auto attack. That's a dead Kog'Maw. If Kog'Maw can get in range, this might be a kill. No. Eye of the Storm is going to shield it. And put up 200 hit points of protection. 164, sorry. And that was enough to save Urgot. It's a great aggressive play from that bottom lane. Getting the kill back, so 1-1. And Urgot Janna really putting huge pressure onto this Soraka Kog'Maw combo. Chapsy's come up and a great timing from Flash. B2B May, not panicking, not blowing it early. Only using it when he needs to. Tempest cripple out. Lollipop has been taking huge damage. Ignites on both champions. Now, Yo-Yo's the one on the back foot. He's taking damage from an entire creep wave. If he does not land a Resonating Strike, it's brilliant ultimate from Lollipop. Jumps in the Infinite Urish. Almost enough. Even managing to pop his flash and just get out of range from Lee Sin. Lollipop, what brilliant play. He only got level 6 as he was running away from Lee Sin. And the second he got that level 6, put the point into Infinite Urish. And that was enough to secure the kill. So, well played, Lollipop. Then Warwick coming out. Using Infinite Duress when it was needed. Securing him a kill. That'll balance it out a little bit. Farm-wise, they are now completely even. 39-39. Ninja Tabi from Warwick. Merc Treads from Lee Sin. So both champions building to counter their lane partner. And, of course, to counter the composition of the enemy team. Kog'Maw, Yudia, and Lee Sin all deal huge amounts of physical damage. So having the Ninja Tabi, it increases your armor. And it also reduces incoming auto attack damage by 10%, if I'm not mistaken. Let's hover over there for a second. There we go. All basic auto attacks are reduced by 10% as well. So, really great item choice against this team composition. B2B May finally being put a little bit more on the back foot. As Kog'Maw gets more levels, he's going to be ranking up his Bioarcane Barrage. And puts it up to 3 points at the minute, so he can start to outrange Urgot. And see if he's going to land this Corrosive Noxus Charge. There's the Hyperkinetic Position Reverser in conjunction with a Paranoia. That is huge damage going down. Wish wasn't even active yet for Soraka. And now they're turning their attention onto Kog'Maw. They're going to go for this dive. 1 or 2 more attacks. And brilliantly coordinated kill there from C-Play. moving forward, playing very, very aggressively. B2B May is now trying to bait out this Galio, and he's got his Acid Hunters ticking on from range. Ignite goes down, and with the Ignite and the Frostbite, that's enough damage to pick up a kill onto Galio as well. Brilliant coordination from C-Play. They've turned this game on its head. What looked like a great start for Logix is now turning around. Look like a good advantage for C-Play. 5-1 in kills. 1,500 gold up already. And to the 140 guys chilling with me on the stream, what is up? This is the 4th round of the Go4LoL Cup. It's the 87th Cup, which is pretty awesome. And of course, we are following C-Play in the blue trunks, facing off against Logix in the red trunks. Purple trunks, rather. There's an adding strike coming out from Hayoyo. Takes one turret hit. Uses his safeguard, jumps back to the creep line. Just back and forth at the minute. 62 creep score for Lee Sin to the 59 on Warwick. Mid lane, we've got pressure now as well. Udio manages to come up, apply the bear stun, but unfortunately, Galio was just too far away, taking a max range stun from Anivia. Gets his ultimate off. Wish from Soraka, finally giving him some hit points back. Udio's going to be able to pick up one kill. Now he's going to turn his attentions to Johnny. Johnny on Anivia. Doesn't have flash up either, under a lot of pressure. Does have the blue buff, so was looking for the stun, but of course does have Rebirth active. Stun lands onto Udo, followed up by a Frostbite, and that's huge damage onto Chapsy. He's going to turtle stance it up, trying to regen as much as he can. But if he wants to pick a fight against Johnny, he has to kill him twice. And I don't think Chapsy has enough to do it. Brilliant, brilliant wall. There goes the Frost, and of course the ultimate taking over. One more auto attack, just not enough to land. Johnny's hoping to take some turret hits here. One turret, one more. This is going to egg him. That's going to be an egg, Johnny, but there's no one in range to take advantage of it. And while all that is going down, we got pressure on the top lane. Dragon's Rage goes out, kicks Lollipop all the way back. Lollipop still has infinite duress. Lollipop still has his ultimate available. So that entire fight, all that pressure put onto Lee Sin, and he didn't even need his ultimate. So Hayoyo maybe starting to lose out a little bit against Warwick. Keep a close eye on that. Maybe it's a little bit more over-aggression or being out of position. And B2B May going for a mana mune on Urgot, lands a corrosive charge. That means Acid Hunter is going to attract one more Acid Hunter. Wish has been, or Summoner Heal was used there, so that saved Cogmore's life. That means it's off cooldown, and the next time they pick a fight, it might end up being a kill. Lee Sin now hanging around in the top lane. Yudi's going to be able to do a bush gank. So he's going to get into the grass, hide up there, out of vision. And of course, if he can bait out some damage or bait out an ultimate from Lollipop, might be able to do something, because the ultimate will mean he's locked in place. Paranoia comes out in the bottom lane though, so let's see what happens. Huge dive onto Cogmore. That was in conjunction with the... oh, there wasn't even an Urgot ultimate. I actually misread that entirely. Warwick still in the top lane and still has infinite duress available. So even if Hayoyo puts pressure on him, he's just going to lock him down with that ultimate. So it's one more kill in favor of C-Play. And they're going to take the first dragon of the game at 12.5 minutes. 3,500 gold. The gold difference right now. C-Play really looking like they want to drive home an early victory. If they can give Logic some time to farm themselves back into it or get some items, they may be able to turn this around. But now not only do they have Dragon and the kill score advantage, they're even stealing the blue buff. So that's the blue buff now stolen. That's donated to Anivia. Counter steal though on behalf of Logic. So great map awareness, great knowledge that maybe that's going to happen. And of course, they then steal the blue buff, and this might turn around to a 3-man tower dive here. Galio does have his ultimate up. Idol of Durand, and in the bottom lane now, Cogmore goes down to an Anivia. I didn't see if that was a tower dive or not. And on the top lane, we're going to see an Idol of Durand dive. So here they come. They've just revealed themselves. Lollipop is not even going to use his ultimate. That's him now captured. Just going to delay, the proceedings a little bit, running around for a few seconds. It's one more kill from Logix. 8-3 the kill score, but I think the early game advantage is very strongly in favor of C-Play, of course. I'm very, very interested by this Manamune pick. It's not something you tend to see on Urgots. The new, sort of flavor of the month Urgot is to go sort of a Brutalizer Frozen Heart. Get all the mana from Frozen Heart, and of course the cooldown reduction. But I think our B2B May really just wants to keep the pressure and keep throwing out as much auto attacks as he can. And of course, because they have an early game advantage, Manamune is a great damage boost in the low levels. Looking at him right now, he's already got 145 attack damage. He gains 2% of his maximum mana as attack damage. And he's already got 282 bonus from that item. That's really, really good for him. And Lee Sin going for pure attack damage. This is an all-in build here from a Yo-Yo. BF Sword as his first big item. Warwick, on the other hand, has a Wriggles Lantern and a Heart of Gold as well. So he's got the additional hit points and, of course, the bonus lifesteal, bonus armor from Wriggles Lantern in conjunction. Oh, no, it wasn't Wriggles. Was I a complete idiot? Yes, I'm a complete idiot, and I was looking at Nocturne's items. Warwick has a Glacial Shroud. I apologize about that. I was looking at the wrong items. Glacial Shroud and the Kindle Gem. Cooldown reduction. Bonus bonus armor. And he's just going to be able to keep throwing out those hungering strikes of his as often as he can. Taking a 1v1, and he's taking loads of damage down from a Yo-Yo. With that BF Sword, the auto attack damage is huge. Ignites have come out from both. Dragon's Rage used to get rid of Lollipop. And if you can get him with the Infinite Duress under the tower, this might be enough to pick up the kill. He has gone out, and one hungering strike is enough to return a huge bunch of hit points. Galio's jumped in now. He's going to be flashing to get closer. Lollipop trying to get out of range, dodging the first ability from Galio. Speed buff has come out from next, so he's going to carry on chasing him down. Paranoia ultimate's going down now in the middle lane. They've dived on past the second turret. And Lollipop just runs away, not even under pressure from Galio. And C-Play are just in complete control of this game. Really, really great timing on the Infinite Duress there from Lollipop. Catching Lee Sin before he can activate the Resonating Strike. Catching Lee Sin before he can use that execution ability. And Lollipop is playing really well in this top lane. Having a look at the chat at the minute. They could buff Manamune. Yeah, I don't know. I think the fact that it gives you up to 1,000 mana is a really huge advantage for any champions that need their abilities to keep dealing damage. Yo-Yo just missing the Sonic Wave. He's going to keep putting some pressure down onto Lollipop, though. But look at the lifesteal from Lollipop. With his passive and with the attack speed buff he can give himself, it really regenerates a lot. And Nivea is now sitting here in the bush. Brilliant warding from Logic, so they knew they were there. Lee Sin was never in a position where he was going to be in trouble because he had full vision of it. Remember, guys, wards win games. Have a look at the ward coverage from both teams. These are both 2,000 plus elo sides facing off against one another. And we've already got, I can count 6 or so wards on behalf of C-Play, and around 4 or 5 on behalf of Logix. The more knowledge you have, the more vision you have, the better decisions that you can make. And while we've got a 5-man Logix on this top lane, bottom tower is being pushed. That's an inhibitor turret, an interior turret. Going to be locked out thanks to Janna and Urgot pushing that up. And they don't even take the top tower either. So it's a turret without reply. 4-0 in turrets. And a dragon as well for C-Play. Lee Sin jumping forward to that Sonic Wave Resonating Strike. Infinite Duress is available for Lollipop, but he doesn't have the mana to cast it just yet. Have to wait just a few seconds. And once he activates, once he hits that Infinite Duress onto somebody, bottom lane is down. Hugely aggressive dive coming out from Janna and Soraka. Moving past, diving into the enemy base. And it's just pressure, pressure, pressure all the way around. Lee Sin, 4 points into his Safeguard, 4 points into Sonic Wave. 4 turrets down, 9,000 gold advantage in favor of C-Play. And I'm just starting to think it's just a little too far ahead. The champions are now underleveled and underfarmed. I haven't even looked at their items for a little while. Triple Merc Treads, Mundia, Galio, and Lee Sin. They are terrified of the Warwick and the Anivia combo. And the amount of damage that they can put out, that's just AP damage. So, huge damage, huge pressure. And yeah, sorry about missing that kill. I'm trying to focus where the majority of the numbers are. And you don't actually expect people to dive past inhibitor turrets. So, next dragon has respawned. And it looks as though Logix will be able to pull this one back. So that'll start to close the gold score just a little bit. 8,500 at the moment. So this will pull up to 7,500. And if they can start to pick up some kills, if they can take out Urgot and Anivia, Start getting some of that bonus gold. Start to get some of the killing spree gold as well. And that will be able to pull them back just a little bit. There's the Dragon at about 19 minutes. So they'll be back up again at 25 minutes. And very, very interestingly, it looks like we've got C-Play meeting up around Baron buff. This is a very early Baron at 19 minutes. Got loads of pings coming up from Logix. I think they suspect it. They may know something is going on. And the damage is really, really good from Logix at this stage in the game. Level 12s and 13s with only a few items being completed. And this is going to be a free Baron. Logix had pinged it. I think Logix had maybe called it or thought about it. And the fact that that Sonic Wave didn't land on anything will tell Lee Sin that it's gone. And C-Play are now really in the driving seat. They have Baron buff active for a couple of minutes. A huge gold advantage, an item advantage as well. On Anivia, she's got Rod of Ages and Sorcerer's Shoes. Enough gold to pick up a needlessly large rod as well. Urgot not only has his Mana Immune and Brutalize up and running, he also has a Hex Drinker completed as well. That's going to be able to help him against the magic damage from Udia and from Kog'Maw and Galio. Meanwhile, on the other side, Galio only a Blasting Wand, a Ruby Crystal, and a Mana Crystal. It's really significantly further behind than Anivia from this middle lane. Let's see what's going to happen out the minute. We've got Lee Sin. He just misses his Tempest, unfortunately, so no cripple to be followed up. Stun comes down from Udia. And brilliantly timed flash. Hyperkinetic position reversal almost gets cast, but the silence from Soraka means that it's interrupted halfway through. Dragon's Rage used by Lee Sin. I don't think that was really necessary, but he just wanted to guarantee the kill. Just missing the Ice Ball, Ice Cube from Anivia. What is the name of her cube? Flash Frost. Just missing Udia. If she'd caught him, maybe with that, and of course her Frostbite may have been enough to pick up a kill. But it was not to be. Lee Sin, 136 CS, finished his Bloodthirster, so he's going to start increasing his attack damage even further. But he's going somewhat glass cannon. That's the real problem here. And yeah, very, very interesting. 007, James Bond, Janna. Technolink, do you play COD at all? Because that's a Call of Duty reference as well, 007. But the only difference is in Call of Duty it's an insult because it's kills, assists, deaths. So if you go James Bond in COD 4, you're failing pretty badly. So we've got a 4-man push here from C-Play coming up to the first inhibitor turret at 22 minutes already. And with the 7,000 gold lead and the level advantage, they really can push their weight around. Nivea trying to land that Flash Frost, trying to get a stun down and just put some extra damage where they can. And we finally got a 5 versus 5 engage. So this may be the first big coordinated team fight. Galio has Flash and Idol of Duran available, so if he can catch a bunch of them, it may be enough to turn a good team fight in their favor. You know, being caught up by the knock-up and some great damage going down. They've grouped up all together. Galio only managing to pick up Nocturne, opting not to use his flash and jump forward. Nocturne does, however, dive in with Paranoia to pick up a kill, and Nevia managed to pick up Udia in the background. Lee Sin does pick up a counter kill onto Warwick, though. That's a 2-for-1 trade. Make that a 3-for-1 trade. And those Acid Hunters from Urgot, it's just going to keep them under pressure. Kog'Maw is going to be using Living Artillery, prevent them from falling back or recalling. And that was a 3-for-1 trade. And I definitely think the hesitation from Galio was what cost them the team fight. C-Play had grouped up. They had 4 champions sitting on one another's laps. And were waiting. They were, taunting you, saying, we can take this win. And all it was needed was a flash initiation to catch more than the champions that was necessary. Or than, he did. Because as soon as Galio moved forward, he walked into the enemy team, walked into C-Play, and they just split. They scattered. Dove in all directions, like walking into a flock of pigeons. They took flight, as I might say. 140 viewers. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to be here all day long. This is, of course, the Go4LoL. There's an ESL Cup. And with a bit of luck, we'll be able to make it all the way down to the semi-finals, if not the grand finals. But the way that it works is the stream with the most viewers gets preference over game selection. So if you'd like to see me there, Lee Sin putting great pressure onto Urgot, managing to take him out 1v1. Warwick's going to come in here. He's going to use Hungering Strike, auto attack, infinite duress to secure the kill. And that was really driving home, look, this is my lane. I am the boss. Lollipop coming up there. Hunter's Call active. Blood Scent active, rather. And it's going to give him the movement speed boost once champions are below a certain or specific level. And have a look at the levels at the minute. Level 14 on Anivia to level 12 of Galio. Those kills and assists really, really starting to show the difference in items. Galio still hasn't finished his Rod of Ages. He's just been unable to really get any bit of luck, any advantage. No turrets down, or one turret down rather. Living Artillery being blocked by the spell shield. So Rage just preventing that damage. And now they're pushing down this top lane. This is going to be the second inhibitor that they're trying to push down, but Urgot's not here. Now, if Logic's realize this, if they get vision on Urgot, and maybe signal to commit, they maybe signal to try jump in there and try pick a fight 4 versus 5. Without the damage from Urgot, without those Acid Hunters being thrown out and the hyperkinetic position reversal, instead they are going to commit. Stun goes down onto Anivia, but she throws out her Flash Frost, managing to catch Kog'Maw all the way in the back lane. Completely melting Lollipop at the minute. Warwick is the first one to go down before Kog'Maw is blown up in the background. Here comes the hyperkinetic position reversal, so that means BB May is busy tanking the turret hits. In the meanwhile, Udia trying to take on 3 players from C-Play. So it's a 2-for-1 trade so far. Logic's managed to put down great damage to the enemy team, but not managed to kill anybody. Look at that damage going down. B2B May still alive somehow. Still not going down, and he's committing to this. The spell shield from Rage prevents the Tempest damage, and Urgot picks up a double kill with less than 100 hit points of life. That was fantastic, fantastic play. Really great timing on all of those abilities. Nocturne did not deserve to live. Nocturne got caught by the Q, or a creep got caught by the Q, and as Lee Sin threw out his E, he dropped that Tempest onto the ground. Spell shield from Nocturne, you hear that little giggle, that he blocked the spell, blocked the damage, and managed to survive. And I must admit, I agree with that comment in chat there from Get DE Gamed, or Get the Gamed. The Flash Frosts from Johnny on Anivia not landing 100% as often as they, maybe would like, but it is a particularly difficult spell to land. One thing that does need to be pointed out from Anivia, the ultimate of the Glacial Storm in that previous fight was placed in and amongst the entire team, and they caught out 3 champions, and the Frost Wall, the Ice Wall, Crystallize, was thrown up behind the Glacial Storm, and it literally locked everybody in that ultimate for the entire duration. So great stun, Flash Frost landing just as we say is not landing. Managed to pick up Udia. He's going to use the bear stun. Infinite Duress comes out, so the focus is Udia at the minute. Galio's been feared, so he's going to be able to try cast his Idol of Duress shortly, opting not to do it just yet. Nocturne picks up the first kill onto Galio. Damage in the bottom lane from Warwick and Urgot. They chase down Udia. And Lee Sin being beaten in the head by Nocturne. He's just going to keep this pressure up. Uses his paranoia to close the gap. Try get the extra burst out. It's not going to be enough to save his life, though. Flash Frost through the wall onto Saizi. And that's a dead Kog'Maw. And now they've turned their attention to Soraka. One more Acid Hunter. Oh, no. Flash Hungering Strike picks up the kill. No creep wave to push the turrets down, but they're going to be able to do it right now. And what a brilliant, brilliant turnaround. The second we say Flash Frost on landing, Johnny lands 2 brilliant Flash Frost. The first on Udia, blind through a wall. The second one through another wall onto the inhib turret. And that's going to be GG. Galio doesn't even have his Idol of Durand available. I think he used it during the course of that last fight. I think it was... it must have been interrupted because I didn't actually see the animation going off. 145 guys, what's up? Thanks for chilling with us. C-Play looking very, very strong in this round. They might pick up the round 4 victory. Exhaust goes down onto Galio, so he's forced back. Janna picks up the kill grenade with a Howling Gale onto Galio. Great damage being forced all the way around, but the entire time that fight was going on, B2B May was just pounding on the Nexus, completely shutting it down. And it's a victory for C-Play. Congratulations to C-Play. They knock Logic's out of this Go4LoL Cup. We'll have a quick look at the game scores. C-Play fail fact 2-0-18 on Janna. You cannot get a better support. Anivia 6-0-10, 8-2-9 on Urgot. It was just brilliant play across the board. and a really DPS-focused Urgot. He didn't opt to go for the damaging abilities. He didn't opt to go for the defensive abilities in the form of Frozen Heart or similar types of items. Instead, Man Immune, more of Mortius, and then the Brutalizer. Get that armor penetration going. So congratulations to C-Play. I am going to be getting in touch with a couple of the different players now. We will be moving into the 5th round of Go4LoL today. In case you don't know, I'm Quickshot. What's up? 160 viewers. I'm going to be throwing up some music in the background while I arrange the next game. So please stick around, be patient with me, and we'll be jumping into the next round shortly.